But it's kind of interesting because I was going up a steep incline and I was on full throttle, but my feet were moving, so people around me thought I was doing something that I wasn't actually doing, which is really nice. It feels, do you guys ride the electric bike? Do you do the pedal? Don't do the pedal downhill, do the pedal uphill, because it's just like you're doing, I was passing cars going up a hill, sitting down with just a standing bitch face, you know, just like not grunting, not biting my lip, just passing people by because the electric motor was doing all the work. And then I realized that this is our adult T-ball. This is our T. This is the ball sitting there. Remember when you were 6 years old and it was like, oh, this is our challenge in life. This is the way I feel about the electric bike. I was just hauling ass, burning no calories, passing cars on my electric bike. So I just tooled all about your city on my electric bike today, feeling good about myself. But it's funny because you do have this element of like, I'm gonna go out and get some exercise. Except for you don't get exercise, but you did cycle 37 miles. So you should have got exercise, but you burnt zero. Well, whatever it takes your right hand to move the throttle 7/8 of an inch is the exercise you got. But then when you get back, you go, woo, oh man. I worked out for the last hour, except for you did nothing. It'd be kind of like if they put you in one of those. It'd be like if someone put you in one of those baby Bjorns. Remember those? But like a full-size one. A giant man strapped you into a baby Bjorn, and then you just hovered over a treadmill while he ran on it for an hour, and then when you were done, you're like, whoa, woo. I deserve a break. That's what the electric bike is. It's not a workout. But it does, you still feel like you should get some cred on it because you're on a bicycle tooling about while everyone else is in their internal combustion engine vehicles and you're so much better than they are. Even though we're burning some, coal to power a generator to charge the bicycle that I'm now tooling around on, pretending like I'm exercising. All right, I wrote something down because I got a water. Well, does every motherfucking thing need a saying on it now? Does every water, I was driving out here from L.A. yesterday. I stopped at a coffee shop and it had one of those fucking proclamations on front of it. Do we need a decree? Does every fucking house need a decree? Like, we welcome those who love love and who don't judge judgment, and we're LGBT and we're fucking Ukraine friendly and we love retarded chihuahuas here. Like, can we just come into your goddamn house and fucking eat something? Do we have to make a fucking decree? You need to push out your shit on everybody in the United States. It's a goddamn coffee shop. All I wanted was a fucking coffee and a fucking muffin. Do they have to tell me their fucking creed? Here's what we believe in. Oh, I hope everyone's sitting down. They believe in love and tolerance and acceptance. And they're against racism, so there'll be no more Klan rallies at the Phils in Costa Mesa. Phils with a Z. Phils with a fucking Z in Costa Mesa. There'll be no more Klan rallies there. Because here it is. What does that fucking thing say? Dawson,
it says.
Yes. I had to take a picture of it. And by the way, can I just say this, everybody? If you ever see me in the wild, we're not in the wild here. This is a zoo. You can pet me later. This is a zoo. But if you ever see me in the wild pretending to be interested, I'm just gathering material to talk shit about you later. So if I'm interested in your dog or your kid or your creed, if I ever stop and go, oh, wow, this is interesting. No. I'm a fucking FBI agent going, I just want to talk to you about January 6th. Is that? I'm just curious. You got a Lego model of the Capitol. That's interesting. Could I check that out? Wow, I find that fascinating. Let me get a picture of that. Sorry, go ahead, Dawson. This is what I saw yesterday on the ride over.
Making Phil's a safe space. Since the earliest days. Sorry, I'm reading off my phone. And it keeps Since the earliest days, Phil decided to build a place that created a sense of belonging for all customers.
Right.
A place that values quality and care, warmth and connection. A place where the best cup is the one that comes exactly to your taste. At Phil's, we stand for peace and kindness. We have established some simple guidelines that we kindly ask all of our customers and team members to follow.
By the way, who has 20 minutes carved out to read their manifesto before they get a goddamn cup of coffee? Because that's what they're asking you to do. I was the only one who did it. I stopped. I was like, I want to see what Phil's decrees are. Phil's with a fucking Z.
Be respectful. Treat all members of our community with respect and kindness.
What community? The coffee community?
Harassment of any kind is not welcome. Do not discriminate. We do not tolerate racism, hateful language, or discrimination of any kind.
This is Costa Mesa in 2022 at 1 in the afternoon. How much bigotry and racism is actually going down at Phil's fucking coffee? Oh, God, please spare me your decrees, everyone. I don't give a fuck what you think. And by the way, you don't give a shit. You just want to push this shit out here so we think, oh, this is a safe place to get coffee.
Contribute to a positive, welcoming environment. Use our spaces as intended. Our mission is to better people's days, one cup at a time. We strive for hospitality that is warm, welcoming, and genuine. We love bringing people together and creating a community that inspires kindness. Thank you for your love, support, and loyalty. Much love from Phil's.
All right, thank you, Dawson. By the way, I used the bathroom, I took a shit, I didn't flush. That's what that inspired me to do. Can we stop inspiring kindness? Who gives a fuck? Just be a decent neighbor, a decent dad, a decent mom, a decent son, a decent student, a decent employee, a decent boss, and that's about it. We don't need to be kind or inspire those around us. I don't know, when did all this bullshit, chicken shit, pussy talk, when did it make its way into the lexicon of America? I'm so fucking tired of it. Take your fucking kindness talk and shove it up your fucking ass. How about this? How about you get the fuck to work and pay your taxes? That'll be about it. When your dog takes a shit, pick it up. When you're done with your cigarette, throw it in a fucking ashtray. That's it. We're done. Pay your goddamn taxes. I'm tired of all your fucking kindness talk. Coffee. All right, what else did I write down? Oh, so yeah, this is what inspired this kindness talk. I was drinking water at the hotel out of a box because somehow we first off, water used to come out of a hose, then it came out of a sink, then it came out of a plastic bottle, then it came out of a box, then it came out of an aluminum can. We can't figure out how we want to consume our water, but this was a box of water I was drinking at the hotel. It's called Flo. She was a waitress from Alice, right? Kiss my grits. Flo. Thank you. I'm doing awesome, Flo. It said, so it says flow, and then under it, it says water that loves you back. I need to be validated by a box of fucking water. I have parents that don't like me. But this box is going to make up for them. And then, let's see, what else are right here? E-bike, DJ Khaled. All right. Parenting thing here before we get going. But people think I'm weird. I'll leave it at that. No. People think there's something wrong with me. I get that everyone thinks there's something wrong with me, and then there's that part of life where if everyone thinks there's something wrong with you, well then, isn't there something wrong with you? But I still say if you're the only one who thinks the world is round in a convention of flat earthers, then you just speak your mind and you will be right, even if everyone in the room thinks there's something wrong with you. So, okay. When I was like in high school, no one ever talked to me about zits. There should be a conversation about zits. Dads and moms should talk to their kids about how to deal with a zit, because there's this thing that doesn't exist, and then you wake up one day and it's on your face and you don't know what the fuck to do with it. And so when I see a zit on my son, I go after it. And everyone thinks I'm a fucking weirdo for it, but I'm like, he doesn't know what to do with his zit. And so he had a good-sized zit, and he doesn't know what to do with it. And the deal with the zit is you don't want to wrench on it because you'll just aggravate it. You have to pierce it. You have to hit it. You have to lance it. You have to hit it with a needle. Everyone looks at me that way when I say you have to hit it with a needle, but if you don't hit it with the needle, then it won't pop, or you can just wrench on it and it'll get all aggravated and fucked up. So, all right, it's gonna sound a little homoerotic, but my son had a big zit like over his brow, and I was like, I gotta get this with the needle. And he's a good boy. And I was like, I'm going after this thing, and I pierced it with the needle, and then I squeezed on it, and it hit me in the face. It is gross and weird, but here's what a good dude my son is. I was like, wow, that hit me in the face. And he went, sorry. I was like, there's no real need to apologize. It is kind of on me. I did lance your zit and then wrench on it, so I do kind of get what I deserve. But it was a good zit. Yeah. Everyone pretends it's gross and weird, but the #1 show on TV is Dr. Puss Bopper, right? Like that, whatever that crazy is it
Pimple Popper.
Pimple Popper? Right, crazy Asian woman, like petite Asian woman. If it was a heavy-set biker dude, it would be super weird and inappropriate, but the little Asian woman gets the wrench on it. All right, shall we get started with the show? Shall we bring out our guests? We have bald Bryan and Gina her coming out here tonight. We have Leo Flowers, who's coming out here tonight. Hi, Leo. I think I'll sit in the middle. Leo, sit there. We're all set. All right. Leo, good to see you again.
You too, man. It was June.
I know. Seems like only yesterday. Right. And all right. So I wanted to ask the only black person in this club.
It's safe to
in the
assume.
club. That's crazy right there. It's not even a black server.
And on this block.
No, there's a black security guy back there, of course. There's a black bartender.
Isaac is back there? Okay.
As a black woman walks by right now.
I had a question. I mean it, but I don't know. Everyone's so sensitive about race and so fucked up about it. And white people don't want to say anything or whatever. But I am curious.
Okay.
Like when Joe Biden is giving a speech and he's talking about leg room on an airplane, and he's like, the extra 6 inches, man. Like, it affects people. You shouldn't have to pay the extra 6 inches for the extra money for the 6 inches impacts poor people and people of color. Are you ever fucking super insulted that the president doesn't think you can pay for 6 inches of knee room, or do you just kind of roll with it?
Well, if it was a black president, he would have been talking about 9 inches.
Yeah.
Let's start there, all right?
There we go.
We would have been talking about 9 inches, all right? But people of color in legroom. I mean, that is a bit insulting right there, because I can afford it. I fly business class. Leo Flowers did okay with the crypto. You know what I'm saying? That Shiba Inu came through. I got in early, motherfuckers. So thank you, white people, for the crypto.
I will flip the script. Gina
Okay.
told Bryan.
Yeah,
If Barack Obama was like, white people can't afford legroom, wouldn't it feel weird?
It would. It would be true in my case, but in general, yes, it would feel weird.
Yeah, insulting.
And then he goes, poor people and black people can't afford it. And I was like, just say either poor people or black people. Why are we carving out black people in a different category than poor people? Poor people can't afford the extra knee room.
I get a
Why
little
poor
secondhand
and
embarrassment.
black people?
Well, I would say, I would take that extra legroom as part of affirmative action if it was
That's right.
if it was offered. They were like, you're black, you get to go up to first class. I would take that.
Oh,
You know
what
I'm
if
saying?
we did
Yeah.
incremental?
Give me some extra points. Give me some frequent flyer miles.
No, reparations incrementally.
That's right.
Yeah.
Bump
I
it
like
up
that.
to business.
Yeah, you don't want to give me too many miles too fast. I can't handle
No,
that.
you're right.
Yeah, space it out. Space it out.
No, we give you guys $100,000 all at once. You buy Cadillac and paint it
Yeah,
gold.
yeah.
That's no good. We do it incremental.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
get to step
incremental.
up 3 spaces at the Chipotle.
Like an allowance.
Yeah,
Now you're
just
talking about
sort
an
of-
allowance. Yeah.
Right.
You talking about poor people?
Yeah. All right, but does it strike you? Do you ever go like when he keeps talking about people of color, like black people not able
See,
to get like
already,
IDs or
I don't
something?
even listen to Biden. He's an old white dude. You know what I'm saying? Like, at his age, he's like your grandparent, where you expect him to say some crazy shit, and then you keep it moving. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, that's Grandpa Biden right there, talking about them folks over there. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's in that age bracket. Like, how old is he right now? 80?
He's turning
104.
80. Or
He's 104.
He turned 80.
But
or
I don't want to
he's
sound
turning 80.
ageist, though, because Betty White had her faculties up until the very end. You know what I'm saying?
That's
Betty
right.
White, and look at Sidney Poitier. We got some old people
Oh,
still
yeah.
going.
No.
Didn't Joe Biden just say there were 54 states? Okay.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
No.
Sure
it-
did.
No, it's true because like
The teleprompter breaks sometimes, you know?
people don't like Bernie Sanders, or the same people that don't like Joe Biden don't like Bernie Sanders,
You're
but
right.
Bernie Sanders is sharp.
Yeah.
He's
Right.
got his faculty.
But let's be
about him.
real. I bet you Barack has some deleted footage out there, too, you know? But we protected Barack. But everybody has deleted footage of saying some crazy stuff that, you shouldn't have said. You know what I mean? I
Yeah.
don't know what his would be, but he definitely got some outtakes that would be like, that would question his authority.
I was watching Barack Obama today. He's full gray now.
Yeah, he's owning it.
As a black man, there's no
Yeah.
reason to do that.
What are you talking about?
You don't have
What are
to.
you talking?
Well, white guys look weird.
I
when
feel
they
like
go
if I was in
black.
here, he'd be like, bald black guys don't make sense. I
No,
don't understand it.
no,
I don't
bald-
understand bald.
No, they're the best.
Wait, why can't black guys?
No.
Michael Jordan, Charles Barkley, Leo Flowers. I'm in a good class.
Yeah,
Wait, why
Mount
can't
Rushmore.
Barack be gray?
No, he can.
Okay.
He doesn't have to. What I'm saying is
He can afford the upgrade. is
No,
what you're
it's
saying.
not about money. It's like he can pull it off. When white dudes do it, it looks weird. Black guys can get away with it for years and years and years. There's no reason why he needs
Samuel
to do
L.
it.
Jackson is definitely all gray.
Right, but he can go black and it doesn't matter.
Right, it works on. Yeah, you're right. Okay.
Yeah. Speaking of, well, as long as we're talking about race here.
I feel like it's just you, Adam.
It's kind of me.
Honest.
The royal.
I was talking about crypto and,
Listen, cryptos, bloods, I don't understand your people.
No.
But I don't judge. The cryptos and the bloods. Somebody had to make that fucking joke.
God. Doge versus Crips.
I don't know what gang you're in. I just want to. I'm asking questions.
I went to a Catholic school, so a very big gang. You know what I mean? We're out here. Where my Catholics at?
All right, can you? All right, speaking of hair, Leo, please. You guys were there when I got into this, which is, I was watching MSNBC, and they were interviewing a black female doctor. And she was talking about how there's a higher incidence of cancer with black women because all the hair relaxer and all the chemicals they're putting on their hair. So this was a thing from like 2 days ago. The MSNBC reporter had the full fro, which was kind of ironic, and the woman she was talking to had the long hanging locks, although she was black, so she was obviously doing it. But she was the one who was coaching everyone up on women of color having a higher incidence of cancer because of all the products they were having to put in their hair. And 10 years ago, I was on the podcast saying that Michelle Obama should lead the charge and Beyonce of go natural.
Yeah.
Just go natural. You wouldn't spend
that.
all the time. You wouldn't spend all the money. A lot of not wanting to get in the swimming pool or learn because you don't want to fuck the hair up. You don't want to fuck your hair
Adam,
up.
like, gets me on his side, and then I'm like, did you have to complete the sentence, Adam? Couldn't you just give me a partial
Learn to
sentence?
swim.
Learning to swim. You don't want to fuck your hair up. It's the truth. Just go natural. Save a bunch of time. Save a bunch of money. Don't have ovarian cancer and learn how to swim. That's all I'm saying. I'm for you. I'm fighting for the cryptos and the bloods. Why not push this
What's
thing?
embarrassing is that I actually don't know how to swim.
Oh.
It's so embarrassing. And I grew up a block from the lake. I'm from Chicago. I grew up, but here's it's so stereotypical. The problem was you get to the lake, but right before you get into the lake is a basketball court, and I never made it past.
Yeah.
I swear
The
to God.
siren song.
I
Turn
just
back.
every day. Yeah. I was like, man, I should get in there, but I gotta get my work on my crossover. So Leo Flowers never learned how to swim.
Do you know how to swim today?
No.
No?
For what? Why? Put on some scuba gear. I'm good.
No,
A bunch of lifeguards. You guys, if I was drowning, you guys would save me, right?
Oh,
You
yeah.
guys would jump in, right? That's all I need, man. I just,
You know
it's
the
like
guy-
I don't want a jet. I just want a friend who owns a jet.
You're right.
You know what I'm saying? I just want to be able to borrow the jet when I need it. You know what I mean?
No, I don't want a lake. I want someone who owns a lake.
Yeah.
You know the greatest American is of all time?
Who is that?
Once in a while you hear about a story, sometimes a man of color, maybe a football player, something like
You
that.
can say Black Adam, man of color. Sounds like you're...
Well, Black Adam's
yeah, Black Adam.
it's a movie now, so I can't
been
say
taken.
that anymore. But the person, this is the greatest American of all time. The person that sees somebody drowning, jumps into the lake, and it turns out the person who jumps in the lake can't swim. And I'm like, that's the greatest human being on the motherfucking planet.
No,
Then that
that's the dumbest.
person drowns, but they're so consumed with saving the other human being,
No.
they jump into the lake when they can't swim.
No.
You'd never do that.
No,
would
you call and get help, man. You know, why would two people drown at the same time? That doesn't make
That's
sense,
right.
Adam.
I
You
know,
call
I'm just saying.
in the age of cell phones, you call somebody and say, yo, man, there's a dude drowning. Somebody help. You can flag people down. You can send up signal flares. You can honk your horn. There's so many things you can do. Why would you jump in if you can't swim?
I'm saying
you're not going to make it to the guy. First of all, you can't swim.
It's a beautiful impulse, is what I'm saying. It's like
True.
Put that person above myself, even though I can't swim. I'm going after that person. It's almost like somebody jumps out of an airplane without a parachute, and you just dive out after them, going, "I'll get you, my brother." It's a beautiful impulse.
No, you know what? It makes sense. It's like the times like I'm crossing the street with my girl, and then like there was one time like a car was coming. She stepped out right in front of me, and I grabbed her and like stepped in front. I can't take on a car.
No.
You know what I'm saying? But I love my girlfriend. I'm not about to let her, get hit by the car. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I'll take that. So I get that. impulse.
It's also shitty, though.
What's
because
that?
then Hasselhoff gets there, and now he's got 2 problems.
That's right.
So, like, do a little
And he
math
has to
first.
pick one. Ooh.
That's exactly right.
Ooh.
That's right.
Yeah, what if it's between, like, Leo and Joe Biden?
I know you're going to Australia
I am.
and doing some shows.
Yeah. December 1st through 3rd. So my dad passed away a few years ago, and he never had a passport, never traveled. And so one of my goals in life is to go all 7 continents as a way of like honoring my father and like taking him with me.
But he hated travel.
So thank you.
That's an insult. That's an
He
attack,
hated
Leo.
traveling, but he loved to hear travel stories. So Australia will be, I just booked Australia for the first time in my career, and this is my 6th continent. So all I have left is Antarctica.
Nice.
Yeah. So if anybody got some points they want to give me for Antarctica.
Gotta book some
guys are
shows.
enthusiastic. Yeah. I hit up the clubs in Antarctica.
You guys like penguin humor?
So how much of our lives should we fashion after the shortcoming of our father's lives? Because if that's the way we're rolling, I got to leave right now.
You gotta.
I got a lot of fucking work to do.
You can't help it, man. Like, you can't help but to compare yourself to your parent. Even if you say, I'm not going to be anything like you, Dad, there's a point in your life where you're like, damn it, I'm just like that guy. And then that's where you I make a joke about, like, my dad played high school football and has a bachelor's. So I played college football and have a master's.
Nice.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You showed him.
But I didn't do that on purpose. It was just something like I looked back and was like, oh shit, like this guy who I was like, I've been comparing myself to him. So like my kid has to go pro and get a PhD.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like every generation's supposed to get better. I mean, if you're a parent, that's what you want for your kids, right?
Oh,
Yeah,
you
step the game
fashioned
up.
you fashioned your whole life out of not being your dad.
Yeah,
Race car driving.
I went
sports.
the opposite direction of my dad. I was sort of quietly following your dad. Without, I know I should have brought this up to you earlier, but there's what you can do with your dad or your mom is you can outdo them or you can go the other direction from them. But either way, I think it's important to sort of go, here's what they're good at, here's what they're bad at, here's what I can do to remedy whatever it is they did. Just use them as a sort of a roadmap. And you don't have to be like, when people do this thing all the time, it's like, well, the reason she's married to an alcoholic is because her dad was an alcoholic. Well, then she should know firsthand the horrors of being married to an alcoholic. So don't fucking do it, bitch. But yet,
no, I'm going to push back on you on that one because
Please.
what ends up happening is it's not necessarily because her dad was an alcoholic.
Oh, you're a therapist.
I'm a
right?
therapist, yeah.
Right.
It's what happens is on a subconscious level, we end up dating what feels familiar.
I get it.
And it's not until you realize what you're doing on a subconscious level that you're actually able to transform and change that. But we all do it. It's just like, there's just something so familiar about. And then you just, all of a sudden, that's why you like, why do I keep dating the same person over and over again? You can't help but to, even if it's bad for you, you will fall into it unless you are conscious of it. And then it takes years of reprogramming.
But why is it beneficial as a species to be wired that way is what I'm saying. Like, I get it. You're not consciously thinking,
because what
I need to
you're
be with an
trying to do
alcoholic.
is Because as a kid, you recognize your dad's an alcoholic and it's a grimy situation. And as a kid, if you have that burden of responsibility, you are always trying to change your parent. You're like, I can fix my dad. I can stop him from drinking. And so because you couldn't do that with your dad, you end up trying to do that in other relationships.
This TED Talk is riveting.
Yeah.
It's not funny, but it's informative.
Tell us more.
But here's, all right, go through your life this way, everyone. Don't be a mechanic, be an insurance adjuster. I just looked at my dad and went, he's fucking totaled. I'm moving on.
Yeah.
Not going to try to straighten his frame. Just if being an insurance adjuster and go, this fuck's totaled, I'm turning the page and moving on. I'm getting a check.
Yeah.
You can't fix yet.
Be
Now,
salvaged.
certain shit you can fix, but when something is totaled, it's totaled. Get the check, hammer that check, and turn the page. All right. Dawson, are we going to play, what are we
Rotten
playing?
Tomatoes.
Rotten Tomatoes. We playing the Rotten Tomatoes game?
Rotten tomato.
Listen to that noise. It's a high falsetto voice. It can only mean one thing, and you can feel it. Dawson names a flicks, and the gang makes their picks, guessing if it's rotten or fresh. If they guess it exactly, we'll get a bonus 5. It's the Rotten Tomatoes game. You know how we do it. Give me the Rotten Tomatoes game. Now it's time to play it.
All right, well, they call San Diego America's finest city.
I buy
And
it.
it's also the birthplace of some of America's finest actors. So for this round of the Rotten Tomatoes game, let's see what this fine city has to offer in the world of cinema. A surfing-obsessed air cavalry officer, played by San Diego's own Robert Duvall,
Wow.
plays his part on a perilous journey to recover an AWOL officer who has apparently lost his mind. But even if they do find Marlon Brando's mind, Sasheen Littlefeather would probably just accept it on his behalf.
That's a good point.
Starring Martin Sheen, Marlon Brando, and Robert Duvall. From 1979, Apocalypse Now.
So,
You've seen this. Please tell me you've seen this. Okay.
I remember the doc, you know.
Hearts of Darkness.
Yeah,
Fantastic
great doc.
documentary.
Great doc.
Yeah.
Maybe even liked it more in a weird way than the actual movie.
A little
Leo,
shorter.
See it?
Man, I did not see that.
Oh,
No.
what's up?
You know who shot all that
I'm
footage?
76. You know, I would have been 3.
His wife,
His
right?
wife? Yeah,
I know.
shot all
Don't give me the
behind-the-scenes
fucking
footage.
age excuse.
Yeah.
Tired of the age excuse.
What?
World War II.
3?
I wasn't even born. How am I supposed to
That's
know?
not an excuse.
No, it's not an excuse. You have to go back and you have to acquaint yourself with this stuff. But
Apocalypse Now.
Apocalypse Now.
I feel like the
How many
Darkness-
people have seen it? Clap if you've seen it.
I don't want to go culture on you, but like Lawrence
Lawrence
Fishburne was
Fishburne.
like 15.
I think he was 15 or 17 or something. Yeah.
In his teens when
Yeah.
he shot this movie. All right,
It's a classic.
it's a classic.
Although I will point out that considered a classic by today's standards, a little divisive at the time.
Right.
Don't
All right.
listen to this bullshit,
Don't
people.
listen.
We know the game by
Therefore,
now.
I'm going
I'm writing it.
101.
I'm writing it
Don't
down.
go
You writing
by
it
what
down?
Brian said.
That's right.
Always.
All right, everyone locked in?
Yes.
Leo,
All right, what are we doing here?
give us a number.
That's
You
a fair
think-
question.
What did the critics give this?
Between 1 and 100.
What
It was
percentage?
divisive.
60 and up is fresh.
Okay.
Yeah,
I don't mean to overstate the divisive part. It's a classic movie.
it's a class.
I got it.
All right. All right. Ian, I went 89.
Very close, 91.
93.
Oh.
Shit, I had 39.
He meant 93.
I was like 79.
Apocalypse Now is certified fresh at 98%.
Wow.
Damn.
Very high. And the people at 94, so.
I did gotta
agreed.
see it.
Sometimes you want to go where everybody knows your name. And for Ted Danson, that place is his hometown of San Diego.
Finest actors.
We find Teddy D living the bachelor life with his roommates when the buddies discover an abandoned baby they now must take care of.
Oh, yeah.
Starring Tom Selleck, Steve Guttenberg, and Ted Danson from 1987. 3 Men and a Baby.
So we know it's higher than Apocalypse Now, but how much higher?
Yeah,
Right.
That's fair.
All right. What, Ted, does he have a hairpiece or not?
I think very much so.
But if he does, did he just go all gray with it and swap it out when I was sleeping? Or
guess.
When did he do it?
I don't know. What's he got up there? What's going on? He got a hairpiece?
He
got the
should
photo?
be able to have a pompadour at this age.
Yeah.
Hey,
It's a
but
solid
that's
piece.
better. Like when I was in high school, I remember we had our PE coach. He had the spray on. Anybody remember?
Oh, the Ron
They would
Pompeo
spray
spray
it
on
in
your
there.
hair.
Oh man, it looked like a scab. It was so disgusting.
That shit was called top coverage. I used
Top
to see the
coverage?
commercial for
Oh.
it. You'd spray your bald spot,
Man.
and then you'd comb the hair over. And in the commercial, I don't know why I was delighted by this, but the big part of the commercial was won't come off on upholstery.
That Naga high couch.
Right, because you wouldn't want to be on a linen sofa and leave a big skid
Yeah, I
mark.
mean, but that's strange because you would have to, like, your head would have to be weirdly positioned in order to get, anyway.
Well, you could, okay. All right, this movie, I think the critics kind of liked it. It was nice.
I
don't
think it was
they
directed
thought,
by Leonard Nimoy.
Really?
What?
Can we check on that? Either way, this is pleasant enough, but is it like too lightweight for the
It's
critics?
It has the
Lightweight.
goot.
It's lightweight, but I did Dancing with the Stars with Steve Guttenberg, so I know the man well.
Yes, directed by Leonard Nimoy.
Whoa!
What a fun fact.
Did not know that. Good call. All right.
I got to give it 78%.
Hold on.
That is kind.
I don't know where to go with this.
Yeah, 70.
All right. All right. You guys locked in?
Uh-huh.
They thought it was pleasant at 61.
Oh yeah, 62.
Oh, this hurts me. I hope I'm wrong. A fucking film this is. 48.
No,
What?
mean.
All right, hey boss, do me a favor. Choke up on the microphone a little bit. Your hand's covering the transmitter. All right.
Oh, okay.
3 Men and a Baby is fresh.
Yes.
At 67%.
Oh, good. You know what?
Take
Good.
that. I'll take that.
Yeah, I'll take that.
And the people have it at 47.
And-
Very rare.
They had a sequel, 3 Men and a Little Lady.
Adam,
That's right.
this is one of your examples of how in the 80s, every innocent movie had to have a weird drug subplot.
Yes.
There was like drugs in the diaper, remember? They're trying to
right.
find the
Forgot
baby.
about
Right.
that.
Leonard Nimoy.
All right, before she was back in the habit, actress Kathy Najimy was coming up from right here in San Diego. And in this movie, where a lounge singer is forced to join a convent after being placed in a witness protection program, Kathy plays a fellow nun who's ready to lend her a helping holy hand. Starring Whoopi Goldberg, Kathy Najimy, and Dame Maggie Smith from 1992, Sister Act.
This movie's delightful.
It's very
yeah.
pleasant.
Leo, you're Catholic. You've seen this.
Oh yeah, that was a great movie right there. Yeah, Whoopi Goldberg. Yeah, she's a talent, man. She's incredible.
She was a talent. She turned into something else. I don't know if
You're
it's...
not a fan of The View? You don't watch that? You
Holy
don't start your morning
shit.
off with The
Those
View?
fucking retarded
That's
yentas.
not playing in the background as you're getting ready in the morning?
All right, I just want to say this, and everyone
Oh,
thinks I'm
here
an
we go.
asshole, but I do mean this.
Please.
The View the other day was going insane because there's a red wave coming, and the Republicans are going to take over the House and the Senate. They're all agitated
Right.
by it. They're all very upset by it, and I said, I get you're upset by this, ladies of the View, and fat people are upset when they see personal trainers come up the driveway. I get it. You don't want it.
Right.
But ultimately, it's good for you, you I said, Los Angeles. No, let me explain something. Ladies of the View, and everyone here. Los Angeles is run, essentially, if the ladies of the View ran a city, that's what Los Angeles would be.
You are right.
And it's a piece of shit. So it's not always a bad thing when people who think different than you may get some position of power. That's all I'm saying.
So less Joy Behar, more Elizabeth Hasselbeck.
Yes, if Los Angeles and San Francisco are the two #1 cities, if they were governed by the ladies of the View, that's how they would be run, and they're destroyed. So I know you don't like the personal trainer coming up the driveway, fat ass, but maybe you need it. Maybe it's good for you. That's all. That's all I'm saying. I respect Whoopi because Whoopi is now just wearing pajamas to the View. Like, she's like, I'm wearing...
She's worked hard enough. I mean, she got the EGOT. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Well, don't forget,
So
they
funny.
didn't like her until because they were distracted by her fat suit when she had to go on camera and say, I wasn't wearing a fat suit.
Oh, right.
That was tough.
All right.
So if Republicans were running the San Fran and L.A., then Nancy Pelosi's husband would have been fine.
That's right.
Skull totally
here's-
intact.
Listen,
It
I don't want to...
It never would have happened.
I don't want to get political, but here's what I'm saying. Here's what I'm saying. Now, here's what I'm saying to all my Democratic friends out there. A balance. You need a balance. When you have a super majority of Democrats and or Republicans, although there wouldn't be the homelessness and the mess and whatever, but like Los Angeles is a pile of crap because there's no pushback. There's no yin and there's no yang. You go, let the homeless flop wherever they want on Venice Beach, and then the Republicans go, no, that's a bad idea. Or you go, let's do more regulation. And the Republicans go, no, you need the yin and the yang. Like when you're raising a child, you have the wife and you have the husband. And the husband's like, let him go ride the rocket-powered skateboard without a helmet in his underpants, and then the wife goes, whoa, put on a helmet and slow it down. Like, there's the yin and the yang, and what happened in Los Angeles is we went super Democrat, and we've gone off the rails. It's not that one is better than the other, it's one prevents the other from going insane. That's all I'm saying. And
Well
San
said.
Francisco and Los Angeles is a super majority, and we've gone insane. You just need the balance and the pushback. That's all.
So Sister Act.
The sister. All right, I did not see this movie, but I heard it.
What?
You're going to judge me,
Yeah,
you
yeah,
who have not
yeah.
seen Apocalypse Now.
I was 3. It was rated R.
Yeah.
Was it? I don't know. Was it rated R?
All right.
Sister Act is the Apocalypse Now of fake nun movies.
All right. You got it, Leo?
88%.
71.
68.
79.
Wow.
It's a good movie.
I said 92.
Gina, what'd you say?
68.
68.
88.
Brian, what did you say?
79.
Well, you guys are right around there because Sister Act is fresh at 74%.
Oh.
Respectable.
Adam, what'd you say?
71.
Shit.
You know, the thing is, comedies don't really get respect from, like, the
No.
reviewers. They don't get the love.
It was a broad, crowd-pleasing
Yeah.
comedy.
No, they don't.
No,
Sad.
they're never gonna hit. It's rare that they hit like above 90. Like I wonder what Bridesmaids did because that was hysterical.
No, Bridesmaids is great, and it probably got a little bump because it's the all-female cast, and they like the all-female cast. But
More
take-
like The Hangover.
yeah, take The Hangover, the first one, which was great, it's probably in the 80s, or even lower. I don't know. We can figure it out.
Next up, actor Adam Brody does not do right by his hometown of San Diego in this movie, where he sacrifices the hottest girl in school and gets her possessed by a demon.
I fucking watched this today. Holy shit! What a coincidence.
She then turns a hungry eye on guys who never stood a chance with her, starring Megan Fox,
Wow.
Amanda Seyfried, and Adam Brody from 2009, Jennifer's Body.
I've never heard of this.
I've
Never heard of it?
seen
Never heard of it.
What? Never heard of
I've
it?
heard of it. I just
I
haven't
think every guy's heard of it.
seen it. What they do
not good,
in this
right?
movie?
Say it again.
What happened in this movie?
There's something he says. The main characters are like two hot friends in high school, Amanda Seyfried and Megan Fox. They a band traveling through town turns out to be Satanists, and they try to sacrifice Megan Fox as a virgin. Turns out she's not a virgin, so it goes sideways, and she becomes a demon who kills everyone.
Wow.
Her Oscar is right around the
Is
corner.
this a documentary
Based on true events.
based on true events? Well, this could separate the men from the boys here because I have no idea. I've heard of the movie. I did not see the movie. Leo?
I have not seen it. The trailer was even bad. When the trailer's bad, you're like, oh man, that is not good right there.
Is this our last one, Dawson?
No, we have one more
I
after
have one
this.
more. All right, let's lock it in. I have no actual idea, but I'm going 44.
Okay.
Wow.
I have a piece of information for everyone. This movie was written by Diablo Cody.
Oh, fuck.
Oh, no.
What?
So it's gonna have a floor, you know, being with the critics.
Right.
And I don't know the score, but I'm here to tell you it's actually kind of good.
Oh,
So
no.
I went 66.
66,
Wow.
the
It's-
mark of the beast.
Oh man.
It's been a pleasure playing with you guys. If Bryan went 66, I'm officially eliminated at 9 fucking team.
No.
Because this
19.
movie
It's not-
sounds like a bag of dog
Leo?
You know, I had it at 17, and then with the new information.
shit. No, 17.
Wait,
lock it in.
hold on. With the new info, 24.
No, 17.
You're
I'm
not allowed
17.
to be influenced.
I think this is fresh.
by the
I mean,
crowd.
how can he introduce it after we start?
Because he's an asshole.
Well, Jennifer's Body is rotten
Thank God.
at 46%.
Wow.
That's a good
Yeah.
one for you, man.
Wow.
It's actually decent.
Man. I said decent. How dare you?
Here's our final movie.
Final movie.
In this sexy, high-octane update of the original 70s action comedy TV series, we find three beautiful women, one of whom is from the even more beautiful San Diego. Cameron Diaz and her pals are beautiful, they're brilliant, and they work for Charlie. Cameron Diaz, Drew Barrymore, and Lucy Liu from 2000, Charlie's Angels.
So this is the first one.
It
Yes,
sounds like it.
with Bill Murray.
Man, this is my favorite TV show of the 70s. I used to babysit on Friday nights. My neighbor, I had a neighbor named Adam. Yeah, I know. And he was younger than I was. That's why I was babysitting his ass. And I used to go over there and I'd put him to bed and then I would watch Charlie's Angels. And Charlie's Angels was my favorite show because I loved Cheryl Ladd. Cheryl Ladd was so hot back then. Jacqueline was okay, but Cheryl Ladd was awesome. And then once a season, they'd be talking into the speakerphone, which was a big deal.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Just having a voice come from a speaker on a desk, you know, and they'd always have Charlie. Charlie was this mythical rich guy who was always getting a massage or something when he was getting like a full release massage when he was talking to the angels.
Yeah.
And also, it is weird if you go back and watch these like cop shows from the 70s. The premises are next to nothing. Like the premise for like Starsky and Hutch or Charlie's Angels, they'll be like angels Somebody stole $40 from a church. We've got to go to work. Somebody stole a potted plant from Mrs. Agnew's porch. Like, we're going to work.
We're going to deploy $12,000 worth of resources.
Yes, it was like literally nothing burgers. Like, they've abducted the daughter of a famous person and they want $80 in ransom. It's up to us. Like, it was like their nothingness. Not by today's standards, but every once a season, he'd get on that speakerphone and he'd go, "Angels, we're going to Hawaii." And I was like, cha-ching, because that means a whole bikini sequence. And this is going to be fucking awesome.
Fucking sweeps week.
Who was the one that always had like the Dutch boy with the pantsuit?
That was Kate Jackson.
Did she get in a swimsuit, or was it like more
Kate,
of like the 1930s?
they did, but they had like appropriate. So Cheryl Ladd had the two-piecer with the tits shoved together.
Sure.
Then Kate would be wearing like the one with
Like a schmata.
have the sarong
Right,
around it,
right.
like the hat.
Right.
And then so they each had their own version.
She was
of
the Miranda.
of the swimsuit. Right. She was the Miranda. Right. Minus the bush coming through the. I saw the movie. What do you want me to say? All right. This was a fun movie. This was one of those Bill Murray, we're not going to work with you again movies.
One and done for Bill.
One and done for Bill Murray.
Replaced by Cedric the Entertainer.
That's right.
They're virtually interchangeable.
Yeah,
So
no one noticed.
Women, large and in charge.
That's right.
It's good. Produced by who directed this?
McG.
Right, the
McG.
MTV guy.
Yeah, he
videos.
made all the Offspring videos.
Yeah.
All right.
Great
Leo,
soundtrack.
you got to lock it in. You can't.
76.
You can't. Well, hold on.
Oh, yes.
You can't.
Wait,
You poor thing.
Yeah, you just
All right, we get locked in.
Yes.
walked in.
69.
Ooh, this might be an interesting game.
Yeah.
I fell behind in the last one, so I went bold in 90.
Whoa.
Oh, this is a very good movie.
I would be shocked if I didn't get this Dead Nuts on at 78.
Charlie's Angels is fresh at 68.
That's all for me.
This guy said 68 right here.
Yeah. I think that's two for you.
Oof.
All right, before we give out the scores, let's do a little housekeeping here. The Hangover is rated at 79%.
See?
Bridesmaids is 89%.
They won't put them in the 90s. That was a 90.
All right, are we ready for some scores?
Oh, yeah.
No.
Gina Grad, congratulations. You made the podium.
Thank God.
At 67, it was our first movie that completely threw Leo out of the game. Leo, you're finishing fourth, as we call it first last, with 121 points.
Fresh.
Leaving us.
Hold on, Leo. Tell you what, I'm going to throw some Asians off the podium.
I
We'll get you right up to the top.
Yeah. Let's do that. Yeah. All right.
It's good.
Leaving us Bald Bryan and Adam Carolla.
Fumble to the goal line.
Bald, you know you got crushed on this, but you will be happy to know that you bested Gina.
Oh, boy.
Bald Bryan with a score of 59. Leaving us with the world champion of the Rotten Tomatoes game, a score of 21. The win to Adam Carolla.
Not even close. Who wants a fake souvenir?
See, that's why my thing is I stay ready so I don't have to get ready. I like when people lay that shit out.
If I was born a little bit sooner, then
Yeah,
I
you would have nailed
yeah,
the Apocalypse
yeah,
Now. one.
Apocalypse Now.
All right, you want to do some news, Gina?
Yeah.
Grad?
Let's do it.
News with Grad. News with Gina Grad. Breaking, viral, weird crime, protest, politics. Give me news with Gina Grad. Stuff they saw on TMZ. Joe Biden, Kamala. Meet news with Gina Grad.
The news with Gina Grad.
So, a man in upstate upstate New York is being called public enemy number 1 by relatives of his ex-wife because he's been urinating and defecating on her grave every single day for months.
Wait, that was a movie, right? I shit on your grave?
That's right.
Totally fresh. The guy who's been captured on video camera stationed around this church cemetery was only married to this poor woman in the early 70s, but never stopped holding a grudge.
I don't want to get into the whole surveillance state, but if an American can't go to a graveyard and take a shit without it being captured on film.
Wait, is he taking a shit or pissing?
Both.
Oh.
Yeah. Makes a difference, right?
Yeah.
They have.
Yeah.
This guy carries a torch. They hadn't been in contact for 50 years. Now, the poor woman's son posted on Facebook saying, a man from Bergen County, New Jersey has been leaving bags of poop and pee on my mother's tombstone almost every morning.
He's bringing it in.
He didn't do it
That's right.
there.
That doesn't
Low
count.
effort.
But it's not
Yeah.
a big deal. He has to cause $250 in damage for him to even be charged with cemetery desecration. So he's good.
See, this is why you gotta, if your significant other goes before you, you gotta put them in an urn. Because you can shit in an urn in the privacy of your own home. You do not have to go outside, scale a fence,
Go to a church.
avoid the gardeners. You
Right.
can just do it in the dignity and the sanctity of your own home. You can always shit in an urn.
Yeah. As
This
God
is what my
intended.
grandfather used to
Yeah.
tell me.
See, I thought he was just pissing. You know, I was like, well, that makes sense. Maybe he's checking to see if he has diabetes or something. That's what they did back in the day. They would piss and then see if ants ran up to it, and then
Because
they'd
the
be
sugar.
like, oh, yeah, because of the sugar. That's how they check for diabetes.
Really?
Yeah.
So you're too young for apocalypse now. But you know what our forefathers were doing with urination.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
which
yeah.
is it? Young soul,
Doctors
old soul?
used to taste your urine to see if they back in the day. They didn't have the little strips.
I love the smell of sugary piss in the
What
morning.
do you say? What state? Probably San Fran, L.A. Yeah. Yeah, Vermont.
So he's dropping it off in a bag?
Yeah, you know what? If that's not a devoted husband, I don't know what is.
Yeah. All right.
All right, so here's a little PSA for you people. If you're gonna rob a bank, please use your best fucking handwriting. Here's why. This robber in England tried to rob a post office by threatening to blow it up, but failed because nobody could understand what he wrote. Martin Travers was sentenced last week to 4 years and 10 months in jail for his plot, which failed. Police say he walked into the post office, passed a note over the counter to the cashier. His note demanded money or else he was going to bomb the place. But the cashier couldn't read what he wrote and kept asking him, I'm sorry, what does this say? Travers told her she had 40 seconds to hand over the money. She could not understand a thing. And finally, he got frustrated. He grabbed the note. He grabbed a little cash. He ran out and got like fucking tackled right outside.
That happened to me in L.A.
Oh, really?
I swear to God, I walked in on a bank robbery.
What?
What?
And
Where?
you know where the ArcLight Theater is?
Of course.
So that block, that corner where the ArcLight is notorious for
In
like
Hollywood?
bank robberies, yeah, shootouts, all this stuff. Like the Jack
shit.
in the Box had a
On
that
Sunset
scene in
with
Heat,
the
yeah.
with the
That
Jack in the
scene
Box
in
across
Heat,
the
it
street.
took place right there, like in real life.
No,
at
that was North
corner.
Hollywood.
Oh, you're right.
I'm
But
from
that
North
corner is
But there was
notorious for
another
whatever.
robbery.
The Cinerama Dome.
So
we
I
did it.
walk in the Wells Fargo bank. This is like 20 years ago, and I'm standing in line, and then like 10 cops just walk in with their guns drawn. They don't say anything, and then they go, "Everybody get down! Everybody get down!" Everybody gets down, and then except the guy in this long trench coat at the teller, and he's still motioning to the lady like, "Give me the goddamn money, lady." Like he's acting like the cops aren't there. We're all on the ground. This old lady is like trying to get to the ground and shit, and like her wig is sliding off, and she finally gets down to the ground, and the guy, like when I walked in, I saw a bag in the corner, but I was like, whatever, and it turns out the bag had a bomb in it, and so they had to I saw like the robot come in, grab the bag, put it in the truck. They did whatever. They had to question everybody to make sure we weren't part of the bank robbery. They arrested the guy, no problem, and then we all went home.
Jesus.
Wow.
Shit.
But what's crazy is the fucking cops let me walk in as the bank robbery. It was almost like they were like, I think he is another one. Like, he's late. Like, they're always late. Like, what the fuck? They just let me walk in, and
Feel free to turn
in.
the sign around to closed, cops.
Yeah, like, in the movies, there's a bank robbery going down. Like, you assume, like, they got the cop cars there, and they rope it off. Nobody can go in and out. The cop cars were there, but they didn't rope anything off.
Jesus.
Yeah, so they just let me fucking walk into this. And then, but, I was surprised at how calm everybody was. Like, everybody got down on the ground. We're just like, all right. And then the fucking cops arrested the guy. He was like, cool. And then everybody just went.
Wow.
Yeah. I've never witnessed that, but on your theme of people not reacting like the way they should react, when I was in high school, my buddy Ray peed on a guy who was next to him in a stall.
I've seen that happen too.
And he just went like, the guy got peed on, just went like, dude.
Yeah.
You think he would jump up or scream or grab his foot or something? People are much more subdued than you think.
Absolutely.
It's always like when someone gets shot, they go, I felt something warm in my side. And then I looked down and there was blood. It's never what the movie version of it is.
It's never as crazy. I had cops, I was at my friend's house and he left. And I didn't know he left, and he set the alarm, and I opened, like, the back door. And so then I'm, like, on the couch watching TV. I just got out the shower. I hear this knock at the door. I open the door, and there's, like, 3 cops with guns in my face. And I was like, all right, so what's this? Wrong house, I think you guys. And they were like, no, the alarm went off. And they were like, well, we got to search the house. But, like, in the movies, you would think, like, you would freak out and whatever.
Right.
And I was just like, no, you guys got the wrong house. Like, I'm not the guy. I just took a shower. Like, but it's just, you never, like, I think you flip out more later on. You're like, wait, what the fuck? Those guys just had guns in my face. But in a moment, you're just kind of like.
My theory is the last statement most people say before they die, like on a battlefield or after a bad car accident. I'd say the average male's last words are, I'm fine.
Yeah, I'm good.
It is.
I think they say I'm good.
Yeah.
That's.
Have you had a near-death experience before?
No, I haven't. Well, I don't. I'm trying to.
Never been in a car accident? You never like.
To be fair, ages 0 to 32 were in near death.
It was all kind of a slow motion near-death experience. But no, I've done a lot of stupid stuff on motorcycles and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I never really had that near-death.
Wait. I'm sorry. Coming from the man who would jump fucking fences at country clubs, stack up rattan furniture and jump off the roof and clear like 12 feet of cement into a pool. Never had a near-death experience.
But that was like Evel Knievel, which is either you
he's in control
eat
of it.
shit and and break every bone in your body, or you're drinking a wild turkey that night with whores and laughing. Like there wasn't really, if you cleared the cement, then
glory.
it was a zero.
Got it.
So I did a lot of. Could have been something, but it was a zero. You ever
I
had any near-death experiences?
had an Uber driver fall asleep on me.
Oh, that's right.
On the 405 freeway. 10 o'clock at night. We're going like 80 miles per hour.
He was doing his act.
No, I was. Yeah. And I'm in a front seat, and the guy just like if anyone come if you have kids. Right? Like, kids, like you like when the kids are quiet, but if they're too quiet, you like some shit's going down.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, God, it just feels too quiet. And I look, and his fucking head is against.
Oh, my God.
And I grabbed the steering wheel. Once again, like you think you would freak out. I just grabbed the steering wheel, and I just, like, guide the car.
Were you in the front?
And I was sitting in the front, because it was an Uber pool. There was an old Mexican lady in the back seat. And I just, like, nudged the guy. I was like, yo, man, wake up. And he was like, huh? And I was like, wake up. He was like, huh? And he's like, ah! And he freaked out. And so when he grabbed the steering wheel, he spins it. And then the car's doing this.
Yeah.
And like you think you would freak out, but like time just slows down. Like you just like everything, like you're super present, you're super calm, and then the car stopped. We didn't hit anything, and I was like, all right, well, you know, I live 10 minutes from here. Take me. Get me to the house. And then Uber paid me for that. Actually, I messaged them and.
Wow.
But yeah, you're super present. Like,
Yeah.
Do you know Mike Young?
Mike Young.
Mike Young, he's a comedian, and he tells this mob story. Like the mobsters had it out for him, and they grab him and they just like pummel him to near death. And he said, I was like, what was that like? Because his face was swollen, he's bleeding profusely. And he said, you feel the first 2 punches, and after that, everything feels like tink, tink,
Wow.
tink, tink, tink. He goes, even when they were done, he was like, I'm fine, right? Like in his whole face, his buddy's like, you are not fine, you know, but like dying isn't as bad. It's the thought of dying that.
I think, well, my theory is we have a kind of ceiling for pain.
Yeah.
And anyone who's ever been barefoot and kicked the metal frame of their bed on a cold
White
morning,
hot.
that's as
painful.
high as it goes.
Yep.
And a piece of rebar going through your rib cage is just equal
Yes.
with that.
Oh.
There's a psychological
Yeah.
part
Yeah.
of the rebar, but in terms of the pain, it's just there. It
Oh no,
doesn't keep
higher
going.
than that is like when you text a girl and she don't text you back. Oh,
Oh yeah.
that's the
rebar
that
through the heart.
unrequited love.
Oh.
That's the worst right there.
All right, one more, Gina Grad.
All right. Well, this is important. So let's skip to the end here. This Kentucky woman. And your microphone, please. I don't know if you've seen this headline, but it has been everywhere for good reason. This Kentucky woman is going to jail for a year for stabbing her male cousin in a fight over their shared sex toy. 34-year-old Crystal was convicted of felony assault in the fight that occurred last year. According to police, she called 911 to report that she'd stabbed her cousin Michael. She then explained that she had borrowed her cousin's sex toy and he wanted it back, which sparked the fight. The police, unfortunately, did not tell us which sex toy it was.
Let's all guess.
It's a his and a hers?
I think it's a theirs.
That's a theirs.
Yeah. That's a dildo. Yeah, for sure.
It's a dildo?
It has to be.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
It can be a butt plug.
It could be,
That's
but I think you know, I could see, yeah.
But you're right, because if you've been to enough bachelorette parties, they have butt plugs now that are like diamonds on the end. Don't act like you don't know what I'm talking about. So they could have shared
Diamond
that.
tipped?
Yes. They're very fancy. They're bedazzled.
That would hurt.
What?
Yes. Oh my God. Put up a picture. I'm sure it's
No,
easy to find.
don't do that.
I was heartsick when nobody bought this for my bachelorette weekend.
So there were sharing
Yes.
a device.
I think it was like an honor system, and one had it too long.
And okay, so first things
Like the
first.
Stanley Cup.
Right. Drinking beer from it. All right. I don't care how fucking poor you are. You have to have enough money to afford your own dedicated dildo or butt
Yeah.
plug. You cannot. It's not a communal device.
it's not
like
communal at all.
Like I don't care. There's pictures of
See,
it.
I don't lie.
So what do you think these guys did? They're like, oh, listen, I need my butt plug back. Fine, I need my toothbrush back. Okay, good.
Come get it.
This is a bejeweled
They're
butt
bejeweled,
plug?
and they're all the rage at bachelorette parties.
I'm not looking.
But how does it... Leo, can you figure out how this thing works, or how does it work?
Okay, I love how everyone's playing coy. So you just put it in as you would, and then you have like a sparkly jewel sticking out.
Wait, what?
Oh, you put it
Wait,
in...
the jewel is
The jewel is just aesthetic.
Gina, I think we all assumed the jewel was on the business end.
No. The jewel
Yeah, that's
is
what I thought.
the jewel is because it's like pretty.
I assumed that.
Oh, the
because
jewel is on the end that hangs
Sticks out.
The other part though is metal, right?
Yeah, but the jewel's for the
Put
audience.
the metal part in?
I think so.
I
She wants us to scroll up.
There you go.
Okay.
She's trying to find hers. She's like, wait, that's the no. I bought the.
I do not abide. I'm rarely at a loss for words. I don't get it.
I don't get it. I don't get toys at all. Like,
Look, I say this once every 5 years. Sometimes the terrorists have a point. And this could be one of those times. I generally disagree with those people.
Almost always.
But every once in a while, they do make a valid point when they're talking about our culture, and I think this might be one of those occasions. All right, put your hands together for Paul Bryan and Gina Grad and Leo Flowers. I'll give you a plug at the end of the show, Leo, but thank you guys for coming out tonight. Somebody's pulling balls out here. I think it is, oh shit, where did I put the, oh, it's Greg. Greg lives in Carlsbad, by the way. He's a middle school teacher, and he's coming out pulling balls. Middle school is now 6th, 7th, and 8th, Carl? Is that what it is? Yeah. So when my middle school was 7th, 8th, and 9th, but yours is now 6th, 7th, and 8th, right? That's right. Oh, Greg, sorry. I called you Carl because it's a friend of mine who teaches middle school. What do you teach in middle school?
Math.
And is everyone behind now because we closed the state down for 2 years?
Yes. Where?
You know it's great. I love that we argue about this. Like, we closed the fucking schools down for 2 years, and then it's like, oh, maybe the kids are a little behind. Like, what if you just locked the gyms up and the personal trainers up for 2 fucking years? You don't think people would be fatter when we're done? Like, do we really need to crunch the numbers on this? You assholes fucked up. You fucked up the kids. I got in a big battle with the teachers' unions, sorry, Greg, about this. And I said, you fuckers are fucking up kids. And they're like, you and your $7 million. By the way, can I just say this? All right, apropos of nothing. I come from nothing. I come from fucking welfare and fucking food stamps. I cleaned carpets for a living. I dug ditches for a living. I cleaned up garbage on construction sites for a goddamn living. I crawled under condemned apartment buildings and dug footings with a fucking coffee can. If you assholes think you're gonna fucking shame me by calling me rich, suck my dick. Suck my dick. They love all this money. Oh, you and your $7 million. That's right, bitch. I work. Why is this shaming to me? You think my fucking dad runs a network or had a successful chain of car washes or something? My dad's rotting on a sofa right now. My mom got welfare and food stamps. You're not going to shame me by calling me successful, you fucking losers. I love this thing. It's like, listen, when you want to shame people who have money, teachers' unions, or whomever, whatever, Democratic politician, whatever, here's what you need to do. Figure out whether the person you're trying to shame earned their money or their dad gave it to them. Because if we earned our money, then you can fuck right off.
Carolla's excited.
If my dad was super successful, then maybe it would work. But it doesn't work because no one in my family's successful. So you cannot shame me for being successful. So do the fucking math. Sorry, we closed schools down for 2 years, and oh, lo and behold, the kids are falling behind in math. Oh, what a shocker. The test scores. All right. Sorry, Greg. I know the scores just came out. Good. We do.
The successful podcast and the documentarian thing.
Yeah, but other than that, we're simpatico.
especially because I'm sure we both beat our hog to Cheryl Ladd in the
Oh,
late
we
70s.
love beating
Come on.
hogs to Cheryl Ladd.
You and I.
Love that Cheryl Ladd. The best. All right, you want to try to pull
Let's do it.
a ball out of there?
Pools.
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 I love pools. I was, I think, all right, so what's the pecking order here? So no pools, the bottom of the socioeconomic food chain, right? Then we go to above ground pool, which is better. Then we go to above ground pool with the weird semi-deck that's on it, which now people are trying to dress up above ground pools by putting decks on them. And then you go to in-ground pool, and then you go to infinity pool. The infinity pool's interesting because who are you really fooling? You know what I mean? It's not like you bring a Native American from the 1700s over to your house and he just goes, water goes on. You know, it's like you live in the house. You understand it just falls down 2 feet and enters a trough and then gets pumped back up. I mean, it looks good, but you're not fooling yourself with the infinity pool. I've never actually, I had a neighbor who had an above ground pool. Has there ever been footage of a fat guy jumping into an above ground pool where nothing happened? Has Bob Saget ever rolled that clip out? That's all. He'll be missed. I like the deck that goes next to the above ground pool. I hate the idea my kids are going to grow up and have grown up in a world of swimming pools but no diving boards. Diving boards were the most exciting part of my childhood. I had a neighbor, he had a pool, there was a diving board on that pool, you could bounce up and down on it. The problem with the diving board is it became a liability because the pools were 9 feet deep directly under the diving board. But 12 feet from the diving board where you launched your ass head first, they were 4 foot deep. So everyone went, is this pool deep enough for a diving board? And the answer is yes, if you go full Greg Louganis and you go straight up, then you come straight down. But if you launch yourself 14 feet toward the shallow end, then no, it is not, because you're gonna hit your noggin right on the shallow end. So enough kids got fucked up by the shallow end and the diving board that they got rid of the diving board. But can you guys all remember that feeling, that freedom of just bouncing up and down? And then every once in a while you'd stand backwards on it and just go up and down on it. And then there was the move you were gonna try, but it took some balls to build up to it, right? I'm going for 1.5. Oh, the one and a half. And then at a certain point, one of your friends would have to get out of the pool and try to throw something to you when you're in the air. Like, hey, take this Nerf football. Throw it at me when I'm midair. My kids will never know that simple satisfaction of being paralyzed by hitting their head on the shallow end of the pool. Sorry. Pools. I love those pools.
Hillary.
Hillary. That's my stepsister's name. I guess we're talking about Hillary Clinton.
No.
Okay. Why? I don't know. You know, here's an interesting time we're living in a sociological experiment, which is, I guess Hillary Clinton is a lot like hummus. Which is, I love hummus, but then I meet a lot of people that hate hummus, and I'm confused by it. I'm the opposite with Hillary Clinton. She seems like a horrible lying shrew to me, and then there are other people that worship her. But how did you think you guys were going to go through life? Did you think you were going to be an adult in America and have everybody split 50% right down the middle? Like, did you ever anticipate this? Like, I go, Hillary Clinton, she's so fucking horrible. She never stops complaining. Her number one beef with Trump is he won't accept the results of the election, but she spent 4 years saying that she had the election stolen from her. So which is it, bitch? Oh. Right, but did you ever, here's all I'm saying. Yeah. When I was a kid, all right, I'll give some Halloween analogy. When I was a kid, you'd have your Halloween basket, right? Your plastic pumpkin or whatever, and there was a Reese's peanut butter cup in it, and we all agreed that was awesome, right? And then there was a Snickers bar, and that was awesome. And then over here was like some loose candy corn or a Razzle or something. And we all agreed that that wasn't nearly as good as the Snickers bar and the Reese's peanut butter cup, right? And then you became an adult and we came into politicians and society and rules and homelessness and everything else, and we just got split right down the middle. I just feel like I live in a group of insane people where I go, it's a Reese's peanut butter cup, and they go, don't you want some of these candy corn with cat hair on it? And I go, no, it's no good. And they go, what do you mean? It's super yummy. And I go, no, we have Snickers bars. And they go, no, we have Zots with pubes. And I go, why? Why? Why do you like this? That's my entire adult life. Zots with pubes. All right, let's do another one. Hillary, thank you. Powerful, Greg.
Cancel culture.
Cancel culture. 2 words. All right, so this will be a good rant to go out on. So here's the thing, everybody, and we need to learn this. Now, I don't know what you can do in your position, because you're in a school, you're in the system, can't really poke your head up because it's going to get smacked with a ball-peen hammer.
It has a couple of times.
Oh, it has? Yeah. All right, I went at you like the Pelosi guy. Too soon. You never want to tussle with a nudist, by the way. That guy was a nudist. He was like, nudist with a hammer is your fucking worst nightmare in a mud room at 2:30 in the morning. But look, here's the thing. I've said this many times. Cancel culture. There used to be a playbook. I was around when this playbook was being used. It's a playbook that was put together in the late 90s by publicists, which is you apologize for stuff you said, and then they turn the page, and then you get the fuck on with your life, and you get to keep your job. That playbook is out the window. Burn it. Throw it out of a fucking moving car. It does not exist anymore. It no longer is applicable to what your life is. The New World Order, because you're dealing with out of control, zealot fucking maniacs who don't really care about whatever they say they care about, they don't care about it. All they want is dominion over you. The new answer to when people want to correct you and or ask you to apologize is fuck off. Because that's the only thing that works with these people.
That's what got me in trouble.
That's what got you into trouble. Because you think they want you to apologize because you think they're upset over what you did, but they're not upset over what you did.
It's my last year, motherfuckers.
They are using it as an excuse to have dominion over you. They don't really care about what you did. You ever think about it where you go, why are they so upset over X, Y, and Z? Or half the fuckers that are complaining on behalf of a group they're not even in. You know what I mean? Like, they're doing it on behalf of indigenous people or black people or Hispanic lesbians. Hey, Karen, shut up. You're not even in that group. Who anointed you the spokesperson for that group? They just want you to relinquish to them. The point is stop apologizing, get on the offense. There's no such thing as being on the defense because once you start stepping backward, they will keep encroaching until you're running full speed backward like a shutdown corner in the NFL. You're out on Revis Island. Look it up, bitches. The point is this. People say to me all the time, how come they never tell and ask you to apologize? And the answer is because I don't apologize. And once you don't apologize, they stop asking because they don't really care if you're sorry or not. They want you to apologize because they want to control you and they want dominion over you. And the only way to stop it is just to stand up and tell everyone to fuck right off. And that's what's happening right now. Greg, you're retiring after this year?
I'm done, yeah, this year.
How old are you?
61.
61.
I was a machine operator for 30 years. In my defense, I was in the printing industry, but I've been teaching for the last 14 years. Been a lot of fun. Don't regret it, but if anyone in here is a teacher, the last 5, 6, 7 years has been quite a shift.
All in the name of progress.
Yeah, my kid. When I walk into my classroom now, I just see these kids are as sharp as a buttered marble. I mean, it's just not working.
Right. Well, maybe if we kept them home for 3 years. All right, put your hands together for Greg. I want to thank Leo Flowers for coming out here tonight. I'll give you an Australia date, but I don't think any of you are flying out there. But he's going to be in Vegas December 12th through the 18th at the Comedy Cellar. And until next time, Adam Kroll for Greg and Leo Flowers, Gina, Bryan, Bryan. Say it! Mahalo!